We're going to start streaming. I'm going to double check that we're live. And we're going to have some fun. Did you get a chance to see that video I sent you?
Which one?
Like
you
2
sent
seconds
me
ago? Like 2 seconds ago?
the God of War one
No,
off the movie.
I sent you one about, there was
Oh,
supposedly
the leak list.
Yeah, supposedly a leak. I mean, that shit looks fake as fuck. Excuse my language,
Yeah,
YouTube, sorry.
I'm not even gonna look at it because I kind of want to be surprised at this point.
Yeah.
So, you know,
It's not real, though, man. It's no damn way.
even so, you never know.
Real, though, man. It's no damn way.
Even so, you never know.
Alright, cool. You sound good. I sound good. Yo, what it do, GG Nation, GG Legion. It's your fella again, Straussman the GG. Welcome to another podcast. My bad. It's been a month. I was planning to do this podcast for a little while. So sorry about that. We couldn't snag JJ today, but I got my brother from another mother, Skip to my Lou. Welcome to episode 62. We're going to talk about the PlayStation Showcase coming out Thursday, so a couple days from now. It's going to be a really fun pod. We're going to cover Gamescom really quick, and then we're going to go right into the PlayStation Showcase and what we think, what we're going to predict, what we are going to pull out of our butt, and just think it's going to be super amazing. But how you doing, Lou? How's everything going, brother?
Good. Everything is fine. Everything's good.
Thanks for joining me on this episode. 62, baby. 62 episodes. Yeah, I know I didn't do our typical episode joke, but it's alright. We can switch it up a little bit.
We'll save that for next week.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be on next week as well after the PlayStation Showcase, and we're going to have to talk about the big reveals. It's sounding like from a lot of industry insiders. Make sure, grain of salt. I know, man. It seems like they're going to bring it. And when's the last time they had a PlayStation Showcase, Lou?
A showcase or a state of play?
Showcase. When's the last time they used that word?
Man, I don't even know.
Last September for the PS5 reveal. And that was like an hour and a half. Okay. And that one had some bangers in it. We've seen a lot of stuff, a lot of big reveals. So a lot of hype going on for this one. But we're going to start out with some other different stuff. Also, I want to apologize to our audience a little bit. Yeah, I don't think we had a spoiler cast all year. I think we've had one, maybe two at tops. I meant to have some more, but we never ever finished Returnal, and I never finished the Mass Effect trilogy, so that's on me. So apologize to Chad the Bearded Wonder. I know he wanted to do a spoiler cast on that, and Lou is going to join us as well, but I never got around to it, and that's on me. That ain't on anybody else on the pod or anything like that. That's on me. Me a little bit playing a lot of different games this year, having really a lot of fun with my PlayStation 5 anyway. I know some still trying to get one, so stay strong. But let's start out with what we're gaming right now, and if we're picking up anything in September, or what you're looking forward to in September. I'm gonna start off with Lou, man. What are you gaming right now, and what are you picking up?
Well, I'm slowly working on Red Dead Redemption 2 Plat. Let's see, I'm working on Iki Island. Let's see,
My apologies, Lou. That hopefully will be our next spoiler cast, by the way. Yeah, I do want to talk about that one, but go ahead.
Yep. Let's see, what am I picking up in September? What's coming out in September?
Well, you're getting a game in a couple days, right? Right?
What happened?
You're getting a game in a couple days, man. How do you forget? We talked about it. We had so much fun last night in the party.
Yeah, I forgot that I'm getting the new Life is Strange game.
True colors, yeah, you're gonna have that. You're gonna have that this month for sure.
I hope it's not like 2. Yeah. I hope it's more like the first ones. So we'll see.
I think a lot of people are, man. The game has a lot of potential. It's a really good series. The first game is excellent, man. The first two, actually, Before the Storm and that one.
Yeah. So I'm kind I'm kind of looking forward to the remasters, but I don't think they're coming out until January now, right? Because I bought the
Yeah, they
$80
pushed them
one.
back. Yes, they did. They did push them back.
Yep. Trying to figure out what else is coming out in September.
It's a pretty big month. There's, Sonic, Diablo 2,
Yep.
2K. I know you're skipping on 2K. Me too. I'm not even picking up 2K right away either. Or maybe, not maybe, yeah, like maybe midway through of the year, probably.
I think it's safe to say at this point,
Yeah.
I have no urge to play 2K.
Yeah.
I have no desire. Of course, it's never say never. But I think it's pretty safe to say that 2K is in my rearview mirror, to be quite honest.
It's it's probably how you feel, like how I kind of feel about Madden. I kind of like been there, done that. I kind of been there. I've been in the Madden league since Madden 11, and I'm a little rusty for sure after playing. So shout out to my little cousin, and shout out to JJ. I know JJ is excited. Elo's getting excited because it was his first football game in a while, and then Jake is still in that really competitive mode because he's never really played franchise like that, except last year. And of course, JJ. No matter what JJ says, that's one of his favorite. He loves Madden to death, and you can see.
Yeah, I really thought for a long time that 2K was like that for me, but I think over the past few years, I've been getting more and more sick of just a lot of things about the game, about the developer, where it's kind of like I think I can walk away and not miss it.
What up, Chad? What's up, Shannon? Welcome to the pod. Yeah, I hear you, man. It's just kind of how I feel about like competitive fire's not there where it was where it used to be. I don't mind playing online with my cousins and you or Elo. That's fine. Like that's still fun to me. Like Showdown, Superstar KO, and what's it called? The Yard is still fun to me. But going through the rigors of franchise and developing players, and because it's not what it used to be. I know everybody says Madden's the same every year, but it's not. It's very different. There's always a new meta gameplay. The gameplay this year is very wonky on next gen, very odd. A lot of things don't seem to work. Like the zones don't seem to work. QB contain doesn't seem to effing work. Obviously, we'll see how that goes. And I did join.
It seems very tight. Like very, very, very tight, like gunky, junky, like.
Yes.
I don't know how to explain it well. Like it seems very stiff.
Yes,
like I mean, that's the best way to.
It's a really good way to say it. It really is. I've been, like I said, I've been in a Madden league a long time. In the last year and a half, I really haven't been super competitive like I used to. Like I used to always do a franchise with JJ. And then they, like Madden 20 kind of ruined franchise for me because it was very lackluster. They didn't give a shit about it, and then the superstar abilities just broke the fucking game. Like it was just impossible to play the damn game, and to me that took the competitive fire out of me because it's like, wow, shit. If you don't have to try, what's the point of me playing, right?
Right.
That's how I felt. We'll see how it is this year. It's funny. Shout out to my cousins, my family. I'm in their league, so Strauss Bowl still might be going on, or maybe not, because I think JJ and I are in the same conference, so maybe no Strauss Bowl. Strauss Bowl might just be a normal head-to-head match this time, or maybe conference final.
Maybe conference finals.
Conference final, yeah. And hopefully I'll lose Jets to the Promised Land. I'm a little bit rusty. I'm gonna have to shake the rust off a little bit for sure.
You'll be good. You'll be fine.
I gotta get. It's gonna take me a little bit to get back into it, but what I'm gaming is a little bit kind of like Lou did. I woke up. I had to pick up Madre up early today. She got off at like 8:30, so I didn't get really much sleep. When I got off with you guys last night.
Yeah.
Wow, innuendo right there. But I went to go pick her up, so I went to bed around like 10:30. Woke up at 3:30. I'm like, oh shit, Player of the Month. It's 3:30. Player of the Month. It's out. And I wake up. I'm like, where's Player of the Month? It's tomorrow. So I'm still playing the show and Diamond Dynasty as usual, playing some Superstar KO with my cousins. I just beat the Fairy Tail game just a few seconds ago. I platinum Scarlet Nexus, a couple days ago, maybe a week ago. And I also beat Iki Island. I am super ready for this month's haul of video games. I'm getting Sonic Colors, Ultimate Edition, Diablo 2. I'm hoping to get Kena Bridge of Spirits as well. And I pre-ordered Tales of Arise Ultimate Edition. I'm very excited. That's the one game. Returnal this whole year has probably been my game of the year.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go out on a limb, and I think Tales of Arise, just playing so many JRPGs in general this year. I played like 6 or 7 alone. And we'll talk more about that in the memories section of... I always try to do an end-of-year podcast where we talk about our favorite gaming moments and stuff, and I'll get to it during that moment. But I played a lot of JRPGs this year, and this... just from a demo, I know it's jumping the gun a little bit. It's all really going to depend on the story. But everything I've seen in the demo, I've been hella impressed. So I have the damn urge. I'm so excited just to kind of keep me distracted. Also, this kind of year, this time of year, I get kind of nostalgic. I re-download stuff and I try to beat stuff. I beat Grand Theft Auto 5, right, a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
But I was like 75% done with that game, and I didn't have that much to do. But it was fun replaying that again. The story was very, very excellent. I re-downloaded Red Dead, and I was playing a little bit, and kind of having a lot of fun. I got my Tiger Stripe Mustang. I had to go fucking halfway across the damn map to go get it, but and it took forever. Like, it took like 20 damn minutes to ride over there.
That's the most annoying thing. That's why you got fast travel.
Yeah.
That's the camp and fast travel to the nearest spot.
I went there, and I just kind of wanted to get into the vibe again and just experience it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I've been playing that. I've been having a little bit of fun of that. My goal this week is to finally finish up RE8 Plat before Tales of that comes out. Midnight Friday, but that's the thing I'm looking most forward to. Obviously, Diablo 2 is. I'm a big Diablo 2. I remember, shout out to my brother from another mother, Mitch, back in 5th grade. I remember, or back in, I'd say, like middle school, after school, because he used to live down the street from me. And we used to go play Diablo 2 at his house all the time. Like, I'm so stoked to, like, relive the legendary version of it. So I'm excited for that one. I'm really, really excited for that one as well. But I've been gaming a lot, man. I've been doing a lot of stuff, been conquering some stuff. I was very impressed with Iki Island. I'm excited to talk about that in a spoiler cast. But let's get to Gamescom a little bit. And we won't linger too long because that's like a couple weeks old now. We want to have a lot of fun and do the prediction show. That's obviously always the fun. But I do want to talk about a little bit of controversy lately, like with Saints Row reboot, It's been 8 years since we had a Saints Row game, and it's coming back kind of like this. I didn't love the trailer. I remember I did a video of Gamescom, and I said the trailer was alright, but rewatching it and thinking about it, I don't know, man. I gotta see more of it, but I don't like the vibe of it. I get a vibe of hipster trash, and that's like the nicest way to put it. What did you feel about the trailer at all? And I want to preference it. I'm not the biggest Saint Row fan. I just love 3. I remember playing 3 on 360 for Games for Gold, and I played the F out of Saints Row 3, and I loved it. It was so fun. But there's been so many articles saying they're taking out all the funny and goofiness, and they're not going to have crude humor anymore. So I'm like, it's not even Saints Row in feeling anymore, it feels like to me. At least what they're saying. Obviously, I got to see more, but it's not on my high radar list for next year. There's so many great games next year that one's going to be buried. And they probably just killed the franchise, probably. It's probably dead on arrival. But what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, by looking at it, I personally think that it's looked. I mean, I think you put it the nicest way, but it really just looked like trash.
Yeah.
To be quite honest, I think it looked terrible.
Yeah.
I think everything about, and this is kind of like a reboot, right? So they're not continuing
Yes,
from.
it's a complete new one, and that's why it's kind of bothersome, because this thing has already been established for so many years, and they're kind of going in a weird direction, in my personal opinion.
Well, I think that they're going in a direction where it's kind of like forget the other games. We the way that I took it
Yeah.
is that they kind of said that the other games that we made were not right.
Yes. Yeah, I
So
got that vibe too.
we're going to redo it in a better image that's much more suited for the audience that we think
Mm-hmm.
2021 is.
I think
And
I think that's a great way to put it. Yeah, and I personally don't think that's the right way to do it, though, and I don't want to linger too much on this, but I find it kind of odd that it's the norm to attack the fans in the fandom, game directors and people with thin skin. The same thing with Danielle Pineda, the actress that did Cowboy, that's gonna be Faye in Cowboy Bebop. It's kind of the norm to, especially what Neil Druckmann did last year with Last of Us Part 2. Again, I don't want to linger too much on any of this, because I know you guys are probably tired of hearing all that stuff, but it's just kind of odd to me personally to see that fans are always attacked and fans are always wrong and blah blah blah, and sometimes some
especially
handle it.
when you make it, right?
Yes.
Like you make the product, you know exactly where your audience likes, you
Yeah.
know where the success lies.
And
And
I just kind of feel odd that you're going against the norm. It's kind of odd. But go ahead, continue. Sorry.
and it's a heel turn.
Yes.
It's almost like something made up of a pro wrestling skit, right?
Yes,
So
honestly, yeah.
yeah, like you know what they like, and you criticize them for liking it, but you made it.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make sense. It's a very two-faced approach.
Yeah, and you guys know I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I've seen that thing utterly effing destroyed. Besides the Mandalorian,
Yeah.
Star Wars is very special to me. I watched all the movies with my dad. He took me to the theater. We still go to this day. And man, that new trilogy was just an utter effing mess and disaster, and it was just destroyed for no reason. And I just find it so odd. And it's like, oh no, it's the fans' fault. It's like, no, it's your fault. You effed everybody over. That's like the nicest way to put it. And again, with this next situation too, this one hurts a lot, man. Fucking Halo Infinite. Like, this fucking is, excuse my language, and I did a video on it already, but it's just very odd to me. What is going on in Microsoft? There is, we've had this conversation a lot, and Lou was right about it. It's like, when can we criticize them? I think you could. But it's kind of odd to me that there's been a huge wave of mismanagement that's been hella overlooked in Microsoft. Not only with effing Halo, freaking what's that? Hellblade 2 was the first game announced. They didn't even effing start the game yet. Like, they're having trouble starting the game. And then the new Rare game, Everwild, the game directors are all gone already. Like, what the hell is going on in Microsoft? And why is this being like shoved under the rug? This is serious issues and problems, and it's kind of odd to me. Like, Halo is not a normal franchise. It is Microsoft's number one. It's their face of the franchise. If I want to steal that from frickin' the show or whatever, the show, like, that's their shining star, and they don't have any plans to fix it. It's just so odd to me. And again, and I made the point, if Game Pass was not the crutch, would Halo come out like this? And the answer is effing no. No damn way, Halo. It'd be delayed infinitely. But obviously, you're paying $15 a month or whatever. They're going to tell you, hey, you're not paying anything for this game. You're going to play it anyway, right? And most people, I guess most Xbox fans will be happy with it. And it could be great. It could be fucking awesome. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know. Just all the signs there to me in the video I made wasn't an attack on Microsoft or the fandom or anything like that. I fucking like Microsoft a lot. I have a Halo 5 Xbox One. And it's just odd to me that, I'm just tired of seeing some of my favorite franchises just go in the shitter. Like, that's just the nicest way to put it, And
What's
go ahead.
What's odd for me, real quick,
Yeah.
is and I keep mentioning this, and I feel like a broken record. They talk about the power and the graphics and how much better they can
Yes.
produce graphically than PlayStation, but yet Halo still continues to be ugly.
Yes.
Like, not the fullest power. The fullest power that console could absorb. And I don't even think they know they made that console. I don't even think they know how to entertain its fullest value that console.
You're definitely right about that. It's going to take them some time because clearly there's some. Obviously, games will look better as the generation goes on. We're 7-8 months in. And I don't think it's an overreaction at all because I think we've seen some spectacular effing things from Sony and Nintendo already. And I'm not saying those companies are perfect. Like, Sony and Nintendo definitely have their huge issues too. We're not straight Sony ponies here. The reason why we talk a lot about PlayStation and Nintendo here is because they give us what we want and we like to play those games. For Microsoft, I'm more excited to pre-order a damn mini fridge than buying the console. 5 years ago, I would have been so stoked to pre-order the Series X Halo console, but I don't even want it. And that's so odd to me. It's kind of scary, to be personally honest. And
I mean,
go ahead.
With Game Pass, they could just literally hide behind Game Pass.
Yeah.
Like Halo. I mean, if people are not realizing what Halo is right now, this half the features are just not going to be there.
Yeah. Yeah. They're missing significant features at launch. And I feel like I'm in Bizarro world. Like, it's acceptable. Like, that's acceptable. Should never be acceptable.
Like, if that type of stuff, God of War, when it's revealed Thursday, I will talk more about that later. But when it's revealed Thursday, if it looks as bad as Halo, that's going to get criticized. Like,
absolutely.
Really, really badly.
It should be.
It's pretty astonishing to me that Halo's still coming out the way that it is.
Yes.
Like,
it really should be delayed. It really should be delayed. It is fascinating to me. It's really shocking. And also, I want to be transparent about this. They've been very, like, the people that took over, the game director has been very transparent with Halo, and I think that's great. I think it's like, we're hitting some snags. There's going to be some features. That part's good. That's fine. I like that. At least you're honest about that. At least you're not releasing it and then people are discovering it as they play it. It's more like, hey, guys, sorry. This is what we're going to have to do for now. And that I'm okay with. That I'm fine with. Overall, this is more of a Microsoft thing. And the mismanagement of their vision. Like, what the hell were you doing? Were you just ignoring the fire over there? Like, what is going on?
See, like, I won't accept that, and I'm going to tell you why I won't accept that.
Yeah.
They were ready to release that game last year.
Yeah.
And who knows what the heck was even available for that game.
Yeah.
If this game is coming out a year later and still half the features are not involved,
yeah,
then what was the game going to be like last year?
Yeah. Honestly, it's so true. It's so
what
true.
was it going to be like last year? Like, what did y'all do for the whole year with this game? Like, y'all just held it aside and hope people forgot? Like, I'm not entirely sure.
This quick question for you: what will be the state of Halo going forward? I really feel like I really feel like 343 should not have Halo anymore, and it's not just their studio. There's nothing wrong with them. I think 343 needs to let their wings fly a little bit and just make a new game. Let them make a new IP. Let them be creative, because we talked about this on a few pods before, you, me, and JJ. Imagine being the Gears Studio Coalition in 343 where you're just stuck making Gears and Halo over and over again. You can't do anything creative because you're kind of stuck on this universe. Right? You're in this quotation, the Halo universe, Gears of War universe.
My question is, just real quick,
Yeah.
are, are they throwing any ideas out to Microsoft? Or is this just Microsoft just saying, hey, we want you to make Gears and Halo for now to their studios?
That
Is that what's going on?
I mean, that's a great point. The question is, we won't ever know. We won't ever know unless somebody leaves and says so or something.
I got a feeling that's the way it kind of is. Because what's the one thing you hear about Sony from their studios, right? Sony allows us to have a
Creative
creative
flexibility.
freedom.
Yep, creative flexibility. They get the. I would have never, if I was in Sony's position, I would have never told the Killzone team to make Horizon. I'd be like, no,
Yeah.
like get the hell out of here.
Or
And
Ghost of Tsushima.
and yeah,
Like,
like you're making more Infamous. You're making superhero games, right? You know,
yeah.
like Insomniac. No, we're not gonna let you do Spider-Man. No, not at all. But I'd be fired. I'd be 100% fired because all those games turned out excellent and amazing.
Yeah.
And it's because they got to flex their creative freedom. Even with Last of Us Part 2. A lot of the criticism is on Sony too. They let them do what they wanted. And I think that's still great. Like at least you get to see your vision through. And we don't really know that for, like you said, for 343 and Gears. And you're probably right. There's probably some parameters you can't really go outside of. You're kind of boxed in a little bit, right? Like who's really steering the ship? And to me, it's nobody over there in there's nobody steering the fucking ship. And again, I don't want to be negative and make it seem like I just hate. We don't hate Microsoft here. It's just kind of a bummer, honestly. Just as a huge Halo fan, it got me into first-person shooters. I played the original. I have my original copies of all the Halo games. And it's ever since 4. I know a lot of people love 4, but ever since I played 4, I was like, damn, what the hell are they doing? I didn't like 4. People love 4.
So I can see from like a viewer that's watching this or listening to this, how they could think that we don't like Microsoft. Because every time we talk about Microsoft, that it's not really in a good manner.
Yeah.
But in reality, this is kind of the situation that's going on. Because I have a hard time of thinking about a good thing to say about Microsoft. Like what you just said a couple of minutes ago is that they're being transparent with Halo.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here thinking about that they've actually delayed this game for a whole year.
Yeah.
And they're letting their fans know about the game and what's going on. And that's great. But the game is just a mess. Like the game is and it's hard to be like to give them any type of positive energy when that type of stuff is going on.
Yeah.
I mean, the only good thing you can really talk about is Game Pass.
Like,
let's just cut it straight. Like Game Pass, it's just gonna be it's the face of Xbox right now.
Yeah. They've done a lot of really good things, man. They've done a lot. Like Microsoft's done not just with Game Pass, backwards compatibility. Most games running 4K 60. When you got the Xbox One X, and they've been really good with the smart upgrade, right? Smart delivery and stuff like that. Whatever version of the game you buy, you're gonna get the upgraded version for free. Sony's gonna charge a premium for that, and I think that's fine. I have no beef with that. That's a nothing burger for me. I'll pay for quality. But for some people,
why? Because they keep producing quality.
Yes.
Like Sony keeps producing quality over and over and over again, whereas Xbox, it's kind of like one or two things, and that's the end of the year.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a really deep wound, and them buying Bethesda was a brilliant move, but they put a Band-Aid on something that needs stitches. That's how I really feel. And only time will tell. We're going to find out 3-4 years from now if any of these games are decent. And I hope they are. I hope I am going to get a Series X one day eventually. But it's not going to be the Halo one. I'm gonna skip the Halo one. I wanted to do a Halo-thon with JJ so bad, but that Halo Infinite has really killed my mood. And I hate. It's just odd for me to say that as a Halo fan, but man, it's the way it goes. Let's talk about. Did you see the Marvel Midnight Suns reveal?
I saw the trailer. I didn't see much behind it. So I don't know what's really going on behind it. What it's about. I know it's about a comic, right? That's what it's basically.
Yeah, it's based
Uh,
on a comic. But it was that leaked. Remember for E3, it was that leaked game about the XCOM style Marvel game by
yeah.
2K, by the XCOM
Yes.
team. That's what Midnight Suns is. But they're adding a little bit of a card game into it, and there's going to be kind of like some social links involved, kind of like Persona, where you can hang out with the crew as with your team and stuff. But there's a card game into it. I don't know how I super feel. Like I feel interested enough to give it a shot. I just want to try it out. But that was another highlight for me. That was announced. Those were probably the three biggest stories with Gamescom for me because obviously we got a Horizon delay, which I think was a smart move, and then Death Stranding trailer, which I'm ready. I know love or hate it, whatever you feel. I'm very excited for Death Stranding this month as well.
That's in a couple of days, right? The
No,
8th,
it's
9th, or 10th, or something.
I thought it was the 20th. I could be wrong though. I thought
Or
it was.
maybe they're releasing a trailer on the 9th or something.
Yes, they
Uh,
are. Kojima's releasing a trailer the day
yeah, that
before
he
tomorrow, like the day before the state of play. No, not
yeah that
state.
he personally edited or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. We like it's interesting. We'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll get confirmation of Death Stranding 2, or if he's with Abandon or something like that. Which I really feel like he is. Well, let's get to the fun part. All right, enough being a wine ass per se. Let's get to what we really want to talk about: our PlayStation showcase predictions and what we expect to see here. Let's talk about some of the givens. Like, let's talk about obviously the ones we know. It's a no brainer they're going to be here. Let's start out with fun though. Let's start out with God of War. What do you want to what do you expect from this God of War reveal? Any gameplay? Are they going to end the show with it? Like, where do you want to see it?
So personally, I think God of War is going to probably end the show. But I can also see them Sony literally starting the show
Mm,
with God of War gameplay.
yeah.
But I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that I think that it's going to end the show.
Okay.
I think it's going to be gameplay. I think we're going to see, the aftermath. I think it's going to, and I think that we'll probably see maybe a launch timing. So maybe they'll say spring of 2022.
Mm. I definitely think
So,
it's coming out next year for sure.
yeah.
Like I know we all thought Horizon was going to come out this year and it snuck into. I think they're really far along with God of War, and I think they're going to be done. I think you hit the nail on the head on a lot of stuff. I do think it's going to end the show. My question is about this game. Is it going to be like literally a direct continuation of God of War 2018, where again, spoiler, sorry if you haven't played God of War 2018. If you have a PS5 and have the PS Plus collection, I highly suggest you play God of War right now and enjoy it in 4K 60. It is sexy. But it ends with that vision of Thor that Atreus has, and they talk about, it starts snowing heavily, and he's talking about Ragnarok is coming. But remember, there was that leak that you showed us, and you talked about, I think in like a PlayStation party. We didn't do it on stream or anything, but like in a PlayStation party, where the cover art might have quote unquote leaked, and it looked like it was far into the future a little bit. What do you think? Are we gonna go back and forth a little bit, or are we continuing directly from where we left off in God of War 2018?
Well, if that vision is true and that actually happens, I wouldn't imagine Door just kind of like standing there and then like going away,
Yeah.
and then it just fast forward years upon. I think something would happen then.
Okay.
So I think something would happen then, and maybe the game will pick up later. So
Okay.
with them older, but I don't know exactly if they're gonna do a direct pickup from there. That just might be a tease to let you know as fans, like, hey, this is where the next installment is going.
Yeah, yeah,
So
very true.
that could just be a simple tease. I would like to think that most likely that it's gonna be Atreus older, um, Kratos older. Like this gonna pick up a couple years later. So
Yeah,
after their journey,
I don't,
that's what I think
I don't know,
personally.
I don't know much about Norse mythology, so I don't know how long Ragnarok takes to happen, which is like the a very horrific event that just like wiped out everything. Um,
Yes.
I don't know how long that takes to build it up. Obviously, we saw it in Thor Ragnarok a little bit, which was pretty cool. And they did it in a different way, which was interesting. So I'm interested. I personally would like if it continued. I wouldn't mind if it is a few years later or something like that. But I really liked where it ended because that vision was cool. But obviously, it doesn't mean we're going to see Thor right off the rip. And I don't expect to. I expect them to just continue them riding on the boat, going wherever they need to do. I forgot exactly what they said. I need to play it again. This is why replaying games is always good sometimes because you don't always remember everything.
Yeah.
And I don't. There was quite a few lines he says at the end about basically the next hint of where they're going and whatever, like Fellwinter or something like that. Something like that. I don't know. Correct me in the comments down below. I do think it's going to be a good chunk of gameplay. I think it's going to be a 5-minute trailer to end the show. Maybe they will have a tease after for something else we'll discuss later. But this has got to be one of the givens. Like, how do you really feel? Do you really feel like this is going to be here? I really feel like 100% guarantee. I would put money on God of War being here.
Yeah, I think it's 100% God of War is going to be there. I think we're going to see some gameplay, um, kind of like how Atreus is improved, how Kratos has improved over time.
Oh,
And then I do think that we might get a hint of Thor. I don't know if we'll see him, but maybe we'll see something like the clouds are like there's a thunderstorm or something, and he appears out of the distance.
are they?
Uh,
My
Go ahead.
apologies. Are they going to save Odin for the next game?
I
3?
think we see. I think we see Odin towards the end. Personally,
Mm.
towards the end of 2. If we
Mm.
see Odin here, I think that would be pretty cool. But I
Yeah, I
don't.
think so too. But I don't.
I, th-
I don't get the feel. I think Thor and Freya are still going to be a huge part of his
2.
struggle of 2.
Yeah, and I think that that obviously they're probably gonna get eliminated,
What up,
and
LG?
then that's when you see Odin.
Yeah,
So
yeah. They had a cool line in God of War where you kill his nephews and or his grandchildren. You kill his grandchildren because it was
hmm
Thor's kids, and he's like, Odin's coming for you. That was a nice line. I'm like, oh shit, that was sick. And I was always wondering because we get again, Norse mythology is so interesting, and we don't know much about it. We know more about Greek and stuff. Most of us that played the OG God of War trilogy, those 5, 6 games, whatever. Um, and Norse mythology, we think of it in the Marvel universe, but it's so much more different than that, right? It's way, way more different than that. So and I like their take. I like what they did.
like in the history books, like Norse mythology, like how it's perceived,
It's
like
very
that.
different. It's very
Yeah,
different.
yeah,
Because Thor's kind of a dick. He's a drunk and an asshole usually in the mythology, and Loki is more manipulative and stuff, and Odin's kind of a not a good person. A lot of these but you go in the Marvel universe. Oh, it's Chris Hemsworth. He's cheery young man. Right? He's
yeah.
new king and stuff. Which is fine. But that's always been my interpretation of Thor because I was more into Greek mythology and all that stuff because that was everywhere. Clash of the Titans and stuff like that. And then when God of War did it, it was sick. It was awesome. It was cool. But I like that he kind of can time travel a little bit, or not. It's not time travel, but like he can go to different universes now, right? Kratos.
Yeah.
And I kind of I'm interested because originally this was going to be Egyptian.
So let me ask you:
Yeah.
do we see in this game? Just I know we're gonna talk more about this later on, especially if God of War is shown. Do you see possibly Zeus getting involved in two? Because they tease him, right?
Not.
You would figure they tease him. They tease Zeus. You basically go to hell, and they say you don't want to go. After you face that giant, and what's his name is staring at you from distant.
Yeah.
You don't want to go there. That's sort of that's a tease, right? I mean, you would have to think that Zeus would still be haunting Kratos in two.
I think only if he goes back to Helheim, and I think we will. I think Helheim's gonna be a recurring place he goes, whether he dies or not. Kratos, I think we might see Zeus, but I think only in Helheim because the first game has a lot of powerful moments with him burying his demons, and it's really well done, especially my favorite scene, and I won't spoil that. I know the game's like 5 years old at this point, or three years old at this point, but that moment with Athena was my favorite, and that's all I'll say. It's a very powerful, excellent moment. So I'm just hoping to see more. I don't think we'll see Zeus as much, unless there might be a weird twist, but maybe he asks his father for help because he can't beat Thor, which would be cool. Like he learned some lightning powers or some shit, right?
That's what I'm saying. It's like for some reason, right?
Maybe you get Stormbreaker, right? Maybe you make your own Stormbreaker or some shit. I don't know. It'd be cool.
I mean, you think that that's done, that saga's done, but for some reason, like they tease when you go to Hell or Helheim, they tease like you don't want to go there.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I think we're gonna be going there, and whether it be in Ragnarok, I'm with
you. I think we're going to Helheim multiple times. I mean, Kratos has been to Hell 100 times. Like almost every game he goes to Hell. So I'm assuming even the game when he's living, he's going to Hell. He goes to Hell in this one. Helheim, which is cool. Which was a really cool moment, really powerful moment. When he sees Zeus again.
I think that at some point, we're gonna get a moment where Atreus is going to experience Kratos' journey.
Yes.
So because the whole game he didn't want to tell him where he was from.
Yes, he didn't want to explain to him that he had godlike powers and stuff, and you see the ramifications of it, right? He became a fathead, right? He became a huge fathead. But I think it's a given we'll see God of War. It's really interesting. I forgot to mention it's going to be a 40-minute long presentation. No PSVR 2. Maybe we get a new color controller announcement and some other things, but I expect a lot of video games to be here, and I expect our dicks to be blown out of the water. But again, you should always keep those expectations low, because it always feels better when those things happen. Let's talk about another given, because I think this is an easy one, and I think we're going to see at least maybe a minute new gameplay trailer or story trailer of Forbidden West. How do you feel? Some people feel like we don't need to see it. We've had that deep dive 2 or 3 months ago. I think it was like 3 months ago, right? Of Horizon. How do you feel? Are we going to get another gameplay trailer or something of Horizon? I don't think we're going to get no deep dive or more gameplay segment, but we might get a gameplay trailer or a story trailer. That's my gut feeling, but I feel like Horizon will be here in some shape and form.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see something from Horizon. I don't think it's gonna be something that's like God of War length, 5 minutes, maybe more. But we'll probably see maybe 2 minutes of it, of Aloy, and her journey. I honestly don't think we see a lot of Horizon, especially because I think that as we get closer to the game's release, we're gonna see more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's a gap between September and it's coming out February, right? Or
Yep.
January. So this,
February, yep. And
yes,
and we might even
yeah,
get a PlayStation experience in December still. So
right. So I think you want to keep that fresh.
yeah.
You want to keep it fresh later on down the road.
Yeah.
So show something for a minute or two,
That's how I
and
feel.
then kind of move on.
I think this is the game. I don't want to see this one. Horizon looks fantastic. I'm very excited for that one. And I just beat Frozen Wilds a couple days ago. I forgot to mention that. That was actually really fun to play again. Actually fun to see it in 60 frames too. The game is still gorgeous. It's still, like Lou said, it still kind of looks like a PS4 game. He mentioned that when he was watching me play. But man, in 60 frames, it's a game changer for Horizon. It's excellent. So I want to be that guy. I think we'll get a remaster with that maybe sometime. I don't know. We'll see. But
Maybe for a December release.
yeah,
you see a remaster PS5 version.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Maybe we'll get it announced here at the PlayStation Experience or PlayStation Showcase. Sorry, I think this is another game, Grand Theft Auto 5. I don't personally want to see it because it takes up time of 40 minutes, but it's Grand Theft Auto 5. It's one of the biggest games on the universe. It's still in the top 10 sales charts to this day, which I don't even know how it's possible. Like, this game's like 7-8 years old, from 2013. Right? But people love it, and it is an amazing experience. And I think we're gonna see. I think it's a given we see GTA 5. How do you feel? Maybe with the release date for the PS4 version.
Yeah, I think it's a given
sorry,
we
PS5,
see.
PS5, sorry.
Yeah, I think it's a given we see probably a little bit of gameplay, or maybe not even. Maybe we just see like a whole bunch of different capture pictures, explanation of the different graphical upgrades. Supposedly they did a lot more than just upgrading the graphics to 5. So we'll see. We'll see how that's gonna go. I'm more interested in the trilogy remake or remaster, if that's true. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that if we don't see it here with that, I don't think we're gonna see it.
Yeah,
so
that's a really good point. I'm hoping to see that here too. I would like to see that trilogy remaster, and it seems pretty plausible because of the conference calls and stuff like that. That we know about.
It's just too much, right? Too much information. I mean, they literally, like, usually with rumors, they usually start out with, well, this is in the works, or this is happening, and you don't get a lot of like a deep dive, or you don't get a lot of information. They kind of like dissected this trilogy, so there's a lot of things that are rumored to be in it. So I'm wondering how true this really is.
Yeah.
Or it's just made up garbage. So you never know.
You never really know. I always take things with a grain of salt. With GTA 5, is it possible to see an actual expansion, like story expansion? Would they do something crazy like Borderlands 2, where they added a new DLC story after 7 years?
I mean, I want to see why not.
Like, and I'm not talking Grand Theft Auto Online. I'm just talking like actual. Is there going to be some PS5 exclusive content, basically, like a direct?
Maybe. I mean, the way that it seems like is that they put some work into this game.
That's what we're hearing, right? We're hearing it's 4K 60, it's sexy, and it looks way better. That's what we're hearing.
Yeah. So, I mean,
if that is true, that's a fucking game changer. Like,
we'll see.
Like, it would be a huge game changer. And I'm with you. If we don't see the trilogy here, I mean, maybe we would see it at the PlayStation Experience or something. Maybe it's not ready to be shown or something. Because it's interesting what gets chosen for these presentations and what doesn't, what's left out, right? That's what we never think about, is what actually was left out in this showcase, right?
Well, that's the thing, right? You would have to think is that they said it was coming out this winter. Yeah. So it would have to be done, I would assume. So if it comes out in December,
there's always a log jam, though, and there's always delays and stuff. There's always snags, usually. It's never
Yeah.
smooth as you want it to be. You never know, though. You never know. Another given I feel like is going to be here, I don't know why we just saw it, was not God of War, Call of Duty Vanguard. I feel like Call of Duty Vanguard is going to be here for some reason. I know that was just unveiled like a week or two ago. I feel like we're going to see that here. How do you feel about Do you think that's a possibility? Like a given?
Gosh, I hope not. I hope it's not like a deep dive. I hope it's more of like
I wouldn't
we see
expect it
like
to
a
be
minute.
a deep dive.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, maybe like a minute or so of PlayStation gets exclusive guns or something, and then
Yeah.
that's it. I hope. So
beta access now, some shit like that, something.
yeah.
Yeah. I hope I'm wrong, but I feel like this is a given. I don't want to see any more of this game. Deathloop. I feel like we're gonna get another Deathloop trailer. It comes out this month, and so maybe they want to have that one more push. I think we've seen so much of it. I think people are either sold on it or not. It's gonna be wait and see for me, for sure. But I actually was sold on it. I actually liked the last gameplay deep dive we got in the State of Play a couple months ago.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, maybe we'll see a minute or two. I don't know.
I hope not. I don't even want to see any of it. Like just take it out. Cut that shit out. Like you already sold. We've seen it 100 fucking times already. At least that's how I feel anyway.
Well, it's a. I know you're tired of seeing it, but it's a business. I mean,
yeah.
At the end of the day, you have to showcase your stuff. So if we don't see it, it would be great. It doesn't need to be seen, but if it is seen, I understand why it's seen again. So they have to sell their product. So
the last two givens I'm going to quickly mention, and we're going to go into the the surprises, what we feel anyway, or what we want to see. But the last two, I think, Kenna Bridge of Spirits. It comes out this month. I think we're going to see a little bit of that, some more gameplay. That game looks excellent. It's exclusive for Sony. More of a double A indie game. Sony likes pushing those top tier indies, and I think Pathless was excellent, and Bug Snacks was a huge hit for them. Obviously, we got that free, so that probably had something to do with it, right? And I think this one's gonna be really good. Kenna looks excellent. It looks like a really fun Zelda-like type game.
It does.
So I think we see that, and the last one is the other Bethesda exclusive they paid for. We haven't seen much of it. We know it's delayed till next year, and I hope to see it. I think it's a given. Is Ghostwire Tokyo, and the game created by the OG original Resident Evil father Shinji Mikami, and I think we'll see that here. I think that's a given. I think that's a huge possibility. Let's talk about the surprises, least likely stuff that's going through our head. I wrote down a ton of shit, but let's go what jumps to our head. I'm gonna give you the floor first. What surprise do you really want to see that might be possible, might not be here, or you're hoping anyway?
Well, there's one thing I want to say before I get to that.
Yeah.
Alan Wake. I've been calling for that for about a year, that I think that it was coming. And it was actually announced today that it is coming.
Yeah.
For October 5th. PS4, PS5, Xbox, and PC. So I've been calling for that.
Do you think we still see it in the show? Because that was the rumors we were going to see it in there.
Yeah, I think we're going to see it in the show. And I think we see what Remedy is working on next. And I'm going to go out on a limb right now. This is just, I don't know nothing, just BS that I'm putting out there.
Yeah. Obviously, this is our opinions. We're just having fun. Enjoy the podcast, please.
Yeah. I'm going to go on a limb right now and speak out of my butthole and say Remedy is Sony. Oh. I'm going to say it right now. I think Remedy and Sony are going to work together.
Yeah.
Forward.
Okay. That's big. That's big if it's true. They like twisting that knife.
Yep.
I never thought I would see the day Alan Wake would be on a PlayStation console. It was an Xbox exclusive that was beloved by the fandom. Remedy somehow got the rights back from Microsoft So either Microsoft didn't want it, or they didn't want to renew it, or they found Remedy difficult to work with. And
I don't think
there was
I don't
that
think they
control
wanted to.
situation. There was that control situation too, where Phil said
Yep.
Control was going to go on Game Pass day one, and they lost a ton of sales. Ends up going to PlayStation Plus. So, go ahead.
I don't think. I think they just kind of let that expire, if I remember correctly
Yeah.
from the article.
Yeah.
But they made it well known that Alan Wake is not going anywhere. That's why I figured that remaster was coming.
It's cool. I'm excited. It's real.
It has to do with something probably going forward with Control and the expansion of Alan Wake and probably their newest project.
Merging the universes. Yep.
Yeah, so I wonder if we see that here. If we see that here.
That's big, man. That'd be cool. I'd be down.
So what I would want to see going forward, I would kind of want to see a Sly Cooper either remaster or remake. So if you want to remaster the 4 games, I'll be fine with it.
Yeah.
So I personally, I would like that. I know you want to see a remake. You want to see a remake of each and every game. I just don't know if that's in the cards. But
yeah, realistically, yeah, it would. If it would be, it would be the same vein as Crash Bandicoot, where it's just the same game, but completely built from the ground up, which I'd be fine with. I'd be so excited about that. But Ratchet and Clank has proven that platformers still can exist and they can still be very profitable. Ratchet and Clank might even get nominated for Game of the Year, right? Like, it has a shot, I think it's still a pretender. I don't think it would win it. But I love that idea from you. There's been this rumor floating around for a long time now that Sly's not dead. It's coming back. The most interesting part of the rumor is fucking Sucker Punch, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. I figured they'd get Toys for Bob or somebody that did Spyro or Crash, right?
Yeah.
To do it. And I hope this is true. Whether it's Sly 5, sorry, excuse, I'm getting it's hot in the room here. Sly 5, or it's like what Lou says, like a remaster of the 4 games or something. Whether it's new or old or whatever it is, I am down for it. I hope Sly is back. I feel like this is a good moment for it to come back. With all the Ratchet and Clank hype and how successful that game was and how great that game was. A true technical showcase next to Demon Souls and Returnal when it comes to a PS5's power was those games, and I like that a lot. I hope that's true. I hope that's true. My one, I think that's plausible. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I think the Bloodborne Remaster we keep hearing about is potentially gonna be here. I think it could potentially be done by Bluepoint, because I think that Bluepoint acquisition was leaked, right, a few months ago when they got Housemarque. I think they're going to unveil that here, the unveiling of Bluepoint Studios and whatever their next project is. But I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility that there will be a Bloodborne remaster with the help from them or somebody else. I think it's from FromSoft. Say that 3 times fast, right? But it's really, I think, a possibility. I think you could charge for it. I think people will pay the $60, $70, director's cut, whatever you want to call it. Bloodborne, I think it's a possibility. The real question and the most unlikely thing is, we've been hearing this rumor that the 3-game deal from FromSoft is gonna. They've done one for each console. Demon Souls for PS3, PS4 Bloodborne, and now we're supposed to see this Velvet Veil game. I don't know if we see that here. That might be a little too early, but I would love to. I want that to effing happen 100%. I am leaning more towards Bloodborne Remaster. Bless you if you sneezed.
Thank you.
I'm leaning towards Bloodborne Remaster, though.
So do you think that, I wanted to ask you, do you think that we see here the Final Fantasy Souls-like game You think we see anything here about that on Thursday?
Strangers of Paradise. That's a very good question. I don't know if we will. We got a demo of it. I don't know if they're going to spend so much time on it.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be because they specifically say like first party, third party, second party here. I think a lot of stuff we're going to see is actually exclusive stuff. Not just marketing deals, but deals with exclusive studios. And they got 2 big exclusives, Sony, like technically 3 because of Final Fantasy VII.
Right.
I don't think we actually see Final Fantasy 16 either, though, because they just said they wouldn't probably make Tokyo Game Show. They're kind of behind on some stuff. They're done with 100% with the story. They just got to polish a lot of things up with the game. I think they said they almost completely dubbed it already, too. So that game's being baked pretty properly. But I think we see that Forspoken. Great question on the Strangers of Paradise, but I don't... If we're going to see any exclusive from Square Enix, because the Stranger of Paradise is for all the consoles, it's not exclusive, which the rumor was it was exclusive, right? And it was kind of lukewarm, right? A lot of people didn't like the demo. I thought the demo was fine. It was fun. I played better Souls games, though. But that game probably needs to be polished a little bit more. But I think we see Forspoken. I think that's a given. I think we see more of that. The Final Fantasy 15 team game. I think we see more of a deeper dive of that game and maybe possibly a release date because I don't think we'll see Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2. I don't. I think that's a long way off yet. I know everybody wants it, right? Everybody's waiting, but there's 2 exclusives they got cooking in the oven right now. And Forspoken and Final Fantasy 16 have to come out first before we even see anything Final Fantasy 7 Part 2. Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like, Square Enix has enough material where they can do their own show.
Yes.
So I wonder if they will be doing a show soon or if they're going to do one later. What exactly is in the cards for Square?
Great point. They could easily do one. Tokyo Game Show is right around the corner, too. You know, right? It's the end of the month, the 30th.
Yep.
So they could have plenty of stuff there. They just specifically said 16. They're working really hard on it, but they don't want to show anything yet. So that's why I don't think we'll see it here. If it's not ready 3 weeks from now for Tokyo Game Show, I highly doubt it's ready now in 2 days, right? It could all be a bullshit lie, right? They might be like, well, we lied to you, boom! You know, blow your dick out of the water, right? But I really think the one exclusive we'll see is Forspoken, 100%. I think that game has a lot of cool potential. The combat looked sick in that game. That game looked really pretty, really, really, really pretty. So I'm pretty down to see more of that. What's your next one?
My next game, I think I would like to see Twisted Metal. I would like to see something from Twisted Metal. I've been pulling for that for a long time now.
I think we all are.
Give me like maybe a head-on type of like remake or remaster. Maybe a new one. Can we get a new game?
Yeah.
I would like to. Obviously, I'm going, kind of old school here for a lot of these because I want to see some of the old school come back for PS5.
I think it's time too. Nostalgia's more powerful than ever, and I think it's time to bring some of these back and give them a second chance at life.
Yep. So I would like to see that going forward. Let's see. Is there another one? I had one the other day, but we talked about and I totally forgot.
All right.
I know. There's that rumor that I'm sure we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yeah. My next one that I want to talk about. Well, let me talk about Twisted Metal a bit. I really love that series. I have 3 and 4 up here. It's buried back here. You can't probably see it, but I absolutely love 3 and 4. I played the hell out of them. I have Twisted Metal Black as well. I played the shit out of that game. My first ever PSP game was Twisted Metal Head On for my PSP right here. And I remember I was like 15 when I got my PSP. And I had my birthday party and my parents got me a PSP and we played Need for Speed and Twisted Metal Head On like all night. Like I was just like our jam. And I would love to see it come back. The PS3 one I didn't play too much of. I know we got it free And I think it was ahead of its time because of the battle royale-ness and the online play of it. I would like them to kind of go back to old school a little bit, make it a little more simpler, not go so open world online ness, because you're gonna have to have a lot of people dive into that. I'd rather go back to Calypso coming back, granting your wishes and stuff like that, storytelling. I think a smaller budget title of Twisted Metal or a remake, remaster, like you said, of some of them.
I don't see a problem with doing both. Doing both, having a really good story and an online, like a battle royale online.
Yeah.
I don't see a problem with having that game kind of be the whole package and not have not because I think that that's kind of one thing that's kind of missing today, right? It's a game, it's a loosey goosey, fun online card game. Yeah. So I think that Twisted Metal could really, if they do it right, could set the tone going forward.
Yeah. So, and you know how Sony, they're getting really aggressive with multiplayer, right? We're hearing a lot of their studios are doing multiplayer.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with it. I mean, like, why not, right?
Yeah.
So.
My next one is, I think we potentially will see not only the Blue Point Games acquisition, but I think that rumor about Silent Hill or Metal Gear or whatever they're working on, I think we'll see next. And I really believe abandoned Silent Hill, but I do think there is a Metal Gear remake in the works, and it might be done by Blue Point. And that's a long shot, but I would love to see it. Again, riding off high of nostalgia here. But one of those are coming back, I think. We'll see. Or maybe even both, because there was that rumor last year after the PlayStation showcase of the PS5 unveiling, they tried to get Castlevania, Metal Gear, and Silent Hill from Konami. Sony did. They trying to find exclusive partnerships with them.
Right.
So there's something to this abandoned app. There's something to Blue Point Games being bought. I think we're going to see whatever they're working on. And again, with that Bloodborne Remaster I said earlier, that's something small they easily could have done and still have a bigger team do other stuff. 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Because they would have got a lot of help from FromSoft doing it, I think. But I think Metal Gear, Silent Hill, something. We're going to see something. And I'm really hoping. Whatever it is should be really interesting, and I will love if Metal Gear came back, man. It'd be so awesome. And I think Kojima would be involved in both of those. Even though another studio might be handling it, I think Kojima would be like either executive producer, director, something like that. He'd be involved, I think, 100%.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I believe it.
What's your next one?
I'm not really sure what I really want to see in terms of the old types of games.
Yeah.
So I would probably I'm not sure, man. Like, to be quite honest, like,
No, it's fine.
I'm really at a loss right now. Maybe
about,
Resistance.
Yeah, what about that Resistance collection? Do you think that's like? Are we gonna see that?
Yeah. I don't know if we're going to see it, but I would like to see it.
God, it'd be so
I would like
cool.
to see some, maybe SOCOM. I mean, that's something that I've been really wanting for a long time. It's a SOCOM game.
The SOCOM is a good point. Like not Horizon. Guerrilla Games is 2 studios, right?
Yeah.
And they've been working on a multiplayer shooter since 2018. Do we see that, and is it SOCOM? Would you be okay with them doing SOCOM? Because they hired some of the creative heads of the Rainbow Six team that made that game very successful. I don't think it's Killzone. I don't think Killzone's coming back. I could be wrong, but I got a feeling that we're going to see a lot of nostalgia in this press conference. Not just only new stuff. I'm interested to see some new stuff too, but I think we're going to see a lot of nostalgia come back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was kind of leaning was. And I know there's this rumor that we're going to talk about of a PS3 series coming. I don't know if it's still, I don't know if that's actually true, but that would be nice to see a return of Infamous.
I mean,
to be quite honest.
Again, another one from Sucker Punch supposedly they're working on. My question was to the fellas last night in the PlayStation party. Do you want like a remake of 1 and 2 / remaster, or do you want something new and not related to Second Son? I know, shout out to Rollo, friend of the show, didn't want to see any more of Second Son. He wants something new. I kind of am interested I kind of lean towards remake more. I kind of want to replay 1 and 2 because I didn't really play those when I had my PS3. I know we got one for free with PlayStation Plus back when they had that back when they got hacked, and remember, and they lost a lot of people's accounts and stuff like that. You know, people get credit card information and stuff. Back in the dark days of Sony, we should say, they have come along, come storming back. But I'm kind of leaning towards a remake of 1 and 2, and I think it'd be awesome. I think it'd be really sick.
I would like a remake or a remaster, and then I would like a new game for the series. That's what I would like. I would like them to, if they're gonna do it this way, like I feel like if you're gonna do a remake or a remaster of something in the past, then you have to have a new installment coming. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would like to see something like that. So if you're gonna do a remake of 1 and 2, I mean, I know the ending of 2, so I don't know if they can really pick up from there.
Yeah, from Cole's story.
Yeah, from Cole's story. So maybe instead you start off like a reboot of Infamous with a whole different character.
Okay.
So that would be kind of cool. So we'll see. I would like that. That's another thing that I would like. Okay. I don't know. I think Killzone. I think you need to keep that on a shelf for a couple more years.
Yeah. So don't rush. I don't think we need to see a Killzone anytime soon. And I think 2 was the best one. 2 was excellent. Killzone 2 was such a great exclusive. For Sony.
Yeah.
What about Naughty Dog's faction multiplayer game, or anything Naughty Dog? Are we seeing anything Naughty Dog? Uncharted, anything? Naughty Dog here.
I would assume that it's too early.
Yeah.
But we might. I don't know how Naughty Dog feels going forward with Last of Us, if they kind of want to hide away.
Yeah, the remake.
For a little while.
Yeah, the remake.
Yeah. Well, with 2, maybe it's best that company kind of hides away for a little bit.
No,
so,
I agree. But I mean, we know a remake's coming. We know they're working on multiplayer factions. There's a new IP they're thinking of, and then possibly Last of Us Part 3. So, are we going to see any of those projects 2 days from now? Thursday.
I mean, the multiplayer thing, it kind of seems like it's almost ready to be teased. Yeah. There's so much to it that we know already. Factions.
Yeah.
It's gonna have some type of little story, supposedly, to the multiplayer. The last I've heard.
Yeah, they're supposedly making a really cinematic, story multiplayer game, which sounds very interesting. And Sony's going hard right now on They're trying to find that next big Fortnite game. They've been doing it. They've been trying for 20 years now, right? They hired a couple of new studios. They did business partnerships, right, with Jade Raymond's studio. One of the creators of Assassin's Creed. She was one of the big heads of Assassin's Creed. And then the guys that did Call of Duty. Their new studio, I forgot what it was. Demolition Games, I think, maybe? Yeah.
I would think the things that are closest to be shown from Naughty Dog is the multiplayer game. and then maybe the remake of the first, if
Yeah.
that's true, if that's actually true.
Yeah. I think it is. I think it is. I think there's too kind of like the thing about the GTA. There was like just too much evidence, like pointing
Right.
towards that. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say no. I don't think we're gonna see any Naughty Dog shit here at all. Like, and I don't mean shit in a negative way, but I just don't think we'll see them here at all. I think they got a lot of things baking in the oven, but I don't know if any of them are ready to go. It sounds like that multiplayer game got a lot bigger than they thought they wanted, and they got ambitious with it, which is fine. Last of Us Remake, I don't think we need that, but I think they're obviously doing it because people love the first game. They want to make more money. The new IP, way far off, and then Last of Us Part 3, not even started yet, I don't even think. Not even close. They matter. I know they wrote some stuff for it, but that game we ain't going to see for a good, 7 years, probably.
Well, I feel like that there's a story in place for 3.
Yeah.
Because there was a story in place for 2, literally days after 1's release.
Yeah, but it took them 7 years. It took them a long time. It took them
7 years to make, yeah.
It took them a long time. So I think they need to kind of get in the groove again and not just, like you said, let Last of Us settle for a little bit. Which they're not because they're doing a remake, so it's not settling. But that's what they should do. They should let it, they should really be doing a new IP to kind of get away from that a little bit and just kind of refreshing. But they're working on so many different projects. I don't think we're seeing Uncharted. I want that Uncharted rumor sounded so real a couple of years ago, but apparently that that secret Sony San Diego team is not there anymore. They disbanded that team and they tried to have Sony Ben do it, and then Sony Ben was like, "Nah, we kind of want to make our own thing," and then Naughty Dog took it back over, and then they turned it into Last of Us Remake. So
it would be very interesting to see what Naughty Dog in particular, do they get back on the horse and show something soon? Or do they kind of hide away for a little while?
Yeah.
And kind of just kind of let everything kind of settle over.
Yeah.
We know that there's stuff that they're working on. I don't know if it's ready. I don't know if it's going to be shown Thursday.
Yeah.
But the 2 things that we know thus far seem the closest of being, the one thing really is the multiplayer game seems the closest of being
for sure.
ready to show.
Yeah.
But the other one sounds more of an idea, or maybe it's something that they've been working on for a while, which is the Last of Us Last of Us 1 remake.
The impression I got was they've been working on the remake for a while, because that rumor from Uncharted was 3 years ago. And that's plenty of time to do a remake of Last of Us Part 1 for sure.
Ideally, if you were going in this direction for 2, let's just put our idea caps on real quick. If you're going in the direction for 2, and if you wanted to remake 1, so it's, to keep everything the same and keep everything the way it is, I wouldn't imagine it would take that long.
Yes.
Depending on when the idea was made and Sony okayed it. And I wouldn't, but if you wanted to make changes,
too, because they probably only maybe been working on a couple of years, because maybe they spent a year working on Uncharted, and they're like, we're moving on, we're moving past this,
Yeah.
Because like I said, they exchanged hands a lot, which is odd, right? They literally built a new team for the MLB, Sony San Diego, and then they're like, nah. Give it to Ben, and then Ben's like, nah, give it back to Naughty Dog. So, it's interesting. And I don't think we see Sony Ben's game either. I think that's too far off, too. I don't think we get teased. What about Spider-Man 2? Is Spider-Man 2 a possibility?
Well, I said this last night, right?
Yeah.
I said that if we do see it, I think it's too early. But if we do see it, I think it's one of those things that kind of closes out the show with a teaser, little cinematic, maybe 10, 15-second thing.
Yeah.
And then we probably see more going forward in December. I think the earliest that we see Spider-Man 2 is December. And then, and then like we kind of like go from there.
That's what I
But you know
feel
what?
about the Naughty Dog stuff too. I think Naughty Dog stuff will be in December. PlayStation Experience.
Yeah, so it'd be very interesting if how early they want to start showing their next projects after God of War, Final Fantasy 16, um, and Horizon. So I wonder if that's going to be here Thursday.
Yeah.
I personally don't think so. I'm gonna go on a limb and say no,
Yeah.
but you never know. You never know. I don't know what the show is gonna be. This could be the next cycle of Sony that we could see Thursday.
This could be really epic, or it could be really. I honestly think just God of War would shut the internet down, but this could be a very spectacular show. The fact they're not
Yeah.
calling it a state of play and a showcase is excellent. That means there's a lot of potential for it to, and they're hyping it up. You know, you got insiders saying, "Yo, I heard a lot of great things are going to be here." We'll see. To be TBD. The last thing I have on here, because we've literally covered everything, I think, on here is there's another rumor that Sony Japan Studio is being reborn. Sony's, I know a lot of people were really upset Sony Japan, closed down, but one of the head studio managers, American guy that lived there, said that studio was a little dysfunctional, and they had hard time getting things together, and there was a lot of floating projects that kind of never went around. And then they turned into Team Asobi kind of took over now, right? And everybody would still kind of was like, okay, that's cool, we love Astrobot, but we really miss Sony Japan. But this rumor is that Sony's building another AAA studio in Japan, calling it Sony Japan, and they're stealing some of the best gaming minds in Japan from Capcom, Square Enix, and Konami. Some of the brightest stars from each of those studios, and they're trying to make a game in the vein that appeals to the West and Japan, in the vein of like a Monster Hunter, Devil May Cry, or a Resident Evil type game. So that's a rumor. So possibly we might see that unveiled here. Might be a little too soon, but again, a lot of the internet and how things get out of control, out of hand. People were getting mad at Jim Ryan. You destroyed Sony Japan, but if this is true, that fixes all the problems already. You made a newer, better Sony Japan, that's with higher talent, that is ready to make AAA experiences, to get some of that ground back in Japan. And it sounds hella intriguing to me, again, grain of salt. But that might be a possibility being there too. That'd be really cool, because Sony, a lot of people don't think Sony can get studios, but yeah, they can. They can easily get studios, and I think they're very smart. They're just not buying the biggest, they're not buying like Activision, EA, Square, something like that. They're buying studios that fit their mold and their creativity, like Housemarque and Bluepoint. And I think those are smart lockups. And then if they're making a new Japan studio along with Team Asobi, getting some more expansion and growth, Sony's going to be a baller for a long time. That's all of my predictions. Did you have anything else, Lou?
I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
I don't have any more predictions because, in all honesty, I feel like we covered a lot of them.
We covered pretty much everything. Yeah.
Especially a lot of things that we talked about recently in the party.
Yes.
My question to you, before we go and end it, I guess.
Yes.
Do we see anything from Atlas, Persona?
Oh shit!
Here?
That was my other. Thank you. You reminded me.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I was going on a limb. I think we might see a tease of Persona 6 here. They have a big relationship with Sony. September, they said they're dropping 7 new announcements of Persona stuff, right? We're already in the second week. We haven't really, or somewhat second week. I know it kind of September kind of started with like the last, first 3 days or whatever of the week, last 3 days of the week. But we haven't heard much yet. I think this might be a good time to be like, hey, Persona 6 tease, and then, hey, you want to see the full reveal? Come back next week at our Atlas show. We're going to show you 6 more other Persona things. Or maybe Tokyo Game Show, stuff like that. Also, one last thing is Sony already said they're gonna have interviews and stuff after the show. So there might be even more unveiled after the show. After the showcase. So just giving everybody a heads up. So we might not maybe the Alan Wake. We already know it's real now. Confirmation, but maybe they have more to show after the show instead of actually putting it in the showcase.
Yeah, maybe they moved that out of the showcase now.
Yeah.
And they add something in there because it was leaked early, which sucks for them in all honesty.
Yeah.
Because, that's such a surprise thing. That would be so awesome if we just saw it the first time there.
Believe me, it's already a hype thing though, man. People are excited. I've seen a lot of messages on GameFAQs and NeoGAF. People are hyped, man. It's back. It's on a PlayStation console, right? People are excited. It's real. The people are ecstatic. Go ahead with the Atlas thing. I apologize.
I was gonna say real quick. I would think if you're Atlas, right? Mm-hmm. Persona is the hotness, man.
Yeah.
You have to have something, right? To show. I mean, you're hyping the 7 thing. I forgot what the wording is.
7 projects,
seven events or something. I would have to imagine that they would maybe show something Persona related in terms of a remake, remaster. I mean, Persona is the hotness right now.
Yeah.
You have to ride the wave.
I think the one thing we're getting, I think the most obvious thing, I think Persona 6 tease. I think the Persona remakes and stuff are probably real, but I don't think they show it here. I think Persona 6, they built a great legacy with PlayStation consoles with all the Persona games, but 5 really stood out with the PS4, right? Not even the PS3, the PS4. So not only do you have Square Enix having your back, giving you Final Fantasy stuff, I think being smart and getting Persona 6 here is an ideal situation. We'll see. It'll be excellent. We'll see. Maybe Atlas is a funny, weird company. They go their own lane. They do whatever they want. And that's what I respect about them. And that's why I also respect about Sony. Is they already know they have Atlas in their back pocket. Atlas is already going to work with them anyway, so they don't care. At the end of the day, as soon as they could put that Persona teaser on their, PlayStation YouTube channel, they're going to be excited about it and they're going to be happy.
Yeah.
But I think we will. I think there's a chance. I got a good feeling about it because it's 7 Persona projects are supposed to be announced this month, but they didn't give us a date. I think this is the best way to start. It's PlayStation Showcase. But I want to thank Lou for joining me. Shout out to my boys LG, Shannon, and the bearded wonder himself, Chad. Make sure you smash the hell of the like button. Comment down below. Let us know what you want to see. What's your dream prediction? Did we miss anything? We might have. We're human. We forget stuff sometimes.
Yep.
But thanks again, Lou. I really appreciate you, brother. Appreciate our audience. Yo, I've been your fellow Straussman, the GG, and I'm outie.
See ya.